YouTube, welcome to my channel. It's Mikhil. So guys, first of all, I want to thank everyone to support who supported me in my previous video, in my first ever YouTube video, and I got a decent amount of views and comments. Thank you so much for all your support. Keep supporting me like that. And coming to today's topic of discussion is, as the name suggests, how to write business emails. So guys, before starting off, I just wanted to tell you about this series which I'm going to start of how to write business emails. So first of all, this is something which will be useful for anyone in the corporate world, anyone who is looking for a job and applying for a job, and anyone who is already in a job. Okay, so which means is that it is going to be helpful to each and every one of you. Okay, having said so, what is it about? What is the need of writing business email? So this series will be around of 6 videos in total, starting from part 1 to part 6, and make sure you have a look at each and every of this video series, because it's gonna be helpful and it's gonna contain real life sample emails. Okay, work emails ranging from various topics. So just the content at a glance, I'm gonna tell you about the email template, why do we need emails, sample work emails which will be divided into various parts, and finally the takeaways. Okay, so let's dive into the topic. Why do we need emails? So guys, I'm not going to barge you with all the reasons and various ideologies behind writing emails, and I'm not going to take a class of emails like why, because I believe that the necessity of emails is only conveying these 3 presented topics, I would say. So the first one is communicating effectively, so which voluntarily speaks to itself. So when we say communicating effectively, we mean to say that, regardless of the industry, communicating effectively typically means heavy use of email, and using email means being able to write. So we need to we need to write emails just to communicate effectively. As simple as that. The second most important reason to write business email, is first impression of the sender. So what does that mean? So the email is often the first impression the receiver gains of the sender, right? And to be precise, a poorly written email results in a poor first impression. So we want to get the first impression right away. Okay. And the third important reason to write emails is influence on your career path. So guys, you know that email matters. How you write your email matters to the people receiving your emails. Even more importantly, your ability to write emails will have a huge influence on your career path. So don't just write an email just to write an email. Write an email to convey something, to expect an action item on something. Okay, that is pretty much it with the reason to write email. Diving next is an email template. So guys, basically an email template is something which will give you a structure of email, and this will help you understand how an email actually should be set or should be written. So I surfed this image over the internet, and I got this thinking that this is the best one which will give you an overall view of how an email should look like. So as you can see on the right side of this image, that it has 3 parts. So basically an email has 3 parts. It is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So the introduction will give a gist of what this email is about, and you do all the professional highs and hellos over there. And the body part contains the actual reason for writing the email, and the conclusion part, which is very important, will give you an action item for the recipient of the email. Okay, so you can just pause the video and have a look at this email template, and if you have any questions, you can comment down below. Okay, so this is pretty much it from the email template. There is no hard and fast rule as in what word or what kind of grammar you need to write. But as you know, we are talking about all the formal emails, so pretty much decency is to be allowed, is to be maintained, in fact. And I'm going to talk about that later on in the series. Okay, so that is pretty much it from this slide. Okay, guys, so that was it from those two slides. So we discussed the introduction, wherein we saw why is it necessary to even write business emails and their importance. And then we saw the email template, a basic email template, how are the different parts of email present and how can we utilize them. Okay, now coming to this screen, well, basically this is the same email ID which I created in my first video. So, it's Mikhil@gmail.com. So this is the email ID which I'll be using throughout the series to depict and to show you guys all the real samples of emails that we're gonna learn. So before getting started, as part of this video, I would want you guys to have a look at these settings, which I often do in my Gmail account or in my any email account for that matter. So the very first one is setting up a signature. So as you know, every email has a conclusion, which we just saw in the template. And after the conclusion, we would want to give the recipient the name of the sender. Of course, the recipient would receive from our email ID, but let's say if he or she is someone new to us, then he or she would recognize us from our signature. Okay, so it's very simple to go to create a new signature. So to start with, go to settings. We have this tire icon. Go click on that. Go all the way down, scroll it, and here it is. Okay. So click on this radio button, and there we enter some signature. Also, I have the signature ready already. So basically, since we are talking about all professional emails in this series, so I have something set up in those terms only. So I am writing as sincerely, name, any name, be it any name, and Java specialist. Well, why am I writing Java specialist? Is because throughout my series, I'm gonna work as a software engineer on a Java technology, and my series will continue on that basis only. So you can replace them, you can mix and match the names or the positions whatsoever as and when required by you guys. Okay. So basically, this is how we set up a signature. Go down and don't forget to save changes. It says changes are saved. Okay, so this is pretty much a setup whenever we write an email. And one of my important tip over here is also to go to the settings and just have a view of all these important options. So some of them might be useful, some of them are kind of very not very useful. So one of them is again this default text style, okay, which is preset. So you can set some default text style whenever you format an email. So I prefer using a serif font, and the text would be of normal size, and the text color, which I always prefer, is blue. Well, blue is kind of, I don't know, it might have some other meaning, but for me, it looks very professional whenever you write an email, and you can see the sample, how it would look like. So it says this is what your body text will look like. Okay, so these three settings I always do. So the first one would be the signature, which we just created. And the second one is definitely this default text style. Okay, and then I do the same exercise of saving the changes. It's still saving. Okay, we'll give it time, and it's saved. Well, that is pretty much the setup of all this email writing stuff. Now we have the actual crux of the video series, which are sample work emails. Well, I'm not going to scroll further because this will be part of the next video. So stay tuned, guys, for this one. And in this video, basically, just to summarize, what we learned was the introduction to email writing, the very brief introduction to business emails, to be precise. Then we saw an email template. Then we took care of all the basic and essential settings in our Gmail or email account. Okay, guys, so that's it from this video, and I'm sure that this is going to help you somehow in your career, in your job application. And if you really like the video, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And until then, stay tuned with it's Mikhil. Thank you so much. Be kind and spread love. Thank you.